and welcome to another installment of 13 Reasons Why Students Underperform. Today's one is very simple. It relates to goal setting. Students often don't set goals, and that's a little bit like throwing darts in the middle of anywhere, not knowing exactly what you're trying to do. The moment you have a dartboard with the bullseye in the middle, you know that is what I'm going for. Effectively, that is what a goal is. It is something which directs your efforts so that you make sure that you're not simply wasting energy, you're trying to achieve something very specific. Now, I won't belabor the point, but I'm going to give you 4 basic hints as to how goals can be set in a more meaningful and targeted way. Firstly, goals are divided into long-term goals and short-term goals. Long-term goals simply mean by the end of the year, by the end of the term, I would like to have X. But then it's useful to divide that up into short-term goals so that they function as stepping stones to help you get from your 50% to your 80%, or from your 3.2 to your 4 GPA, or whatever the case might be. Short-term goals are not done once a term or once a year. They are done absolutely every time you are given something for a mark. If the professor or the teacher says, this assignment is for a grade, there is a test coming up, you quickly say, what did I get last time? And push yourself a little bit higher than that. So short-term and long-term goals, those are the first 2 concepts, but then there are 2 others. Firstly, always aim slightly higher than what you actually need. If the college that you're speaking to has said that you need a GPA of 3.6, you must pretend that you need 3.7 minimum. If you've been told that you need an 80% in order to get that particular award, please pretend that you need an 85. In life, always aim slightly higher than what you actually need, because of course what happens is inevitably things go wrong in life. But if you've created a cushion, if throughout the year you've maintained a GPA of 3.75, for instance, and the final exams go a little bit wrong, you're probably not going to drop below that 3.6 that you actually need. So that's useful. Always aim slightly higher. And the final thing is, goals should always be set realistically. Now, don't switch off, because I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh, he's saying I'm thick as a plank and I've got to aim lower. No, that is not what I mean by realistic. I know it's often what people say when implied when they say that you've got to be realistic, but I'm saying be real. Realistic just comes from the word real. For instance, if your college of choice has said that you only need a GPA of 3.2, why on earth break your back trying to aim for a 3.6 or 7 or 8? Realistic means you've got to go for what's actually required of you. You've also got to take into account your own personality, because if you say, but there's a certain subject I absolutely hate, I'm not willing to spend enough time to get a distinction for that particular subject, and it's not required for your life, it becomes perfectly reasonable for you to change your goal so that you don't have to put yourself in any distress. And then, of course, on the other hand, you might say, yes, I do hate the subject, but I've been told that really I do need to get a distinction for it to get that scholarship I'm after. That then moderates things. But before setting a goal, think about the real situation of yourself in your life so that you come up with goals which you are likely not only to be able to achieve, but actually correspond with what you need to achieve, because that's much more likely to make you a happy student. So, goal setting, long-term goals, short-term goals, aim slightly higher, and remember to set goals in a real fashion.